David's hands trembled as he sealed the biometric lock on the hidden compartment beneath his workshop floor. The faint hum of the plasma cutter masked the softer sound, a child's whimper from below. "Quiet, Liren," came Elsa's voice, melodic yet urgent, speaking flawless English despite her origins lying light years beyond Earth's solar system. 3 months. That's how long David had been harboring them. 3 months since he'd found Elsa's escape pod crashed in the Nevada wasteland, her cerulean skin glistening with hydraulic fluid from the wreckage, her daughter Liren clutching her leg with 4 delicate fingers. The consortium patrols had intensified lately. Humanity's first contact with aliens hadn't been the utopian exchange Earth's optimists had dreamed of. Instead, it had become a bureaucratic nightmare of quarantines, deportations, and protective custody that looked suspiciously like imprisonment. The consortium, Earth's hastily formed interstellar agency, classified most aliens as either resources or threats. Elsa, with her species' rare ability to metabolize quantum particles, fell into the former category. David had stumbled upon classified reports during his contract work for consortium sensors. The Gelnari, Elsa's people, were being systematically harvested. Their neural tissue, when processed, could power faster-than-light communication arrays. The consortium called it voluntary contribution. The intercepted Gelnari transmissions called it genocide. He couldn't unhear Liren's crying that night in the desert. Couldn't unsee the desperation in Elsa's eyes, eyes that shifted through spectrums humans couldn't perceive, settling on a deep violet that somehow conveyed universal maternal fear. So he'd hidden them. David, Elsa's voice pulled him from his thoughts. She'd emerged from the compartment, moving with that uncanny grace her species possessed, as if gravity were merely a suggestion. "We must speak." Her translator implant rendered her native clicks and harmonics into English, but David had learned to hear the emotional undertones beneath. This was serious. Liren followed, her bioluminescent markings pulsing in patterns David had learned meant curiosity. The child had warmed to him over the months, teaching him simple Gelnari gestures, drawing pictures of her homeworld with his tablet stylus. "The patrols?" David asked, already reaching for the police scanner. "No." Elsa's expression was difficult to read. Her facial structure operated on different principles, but her body language spoke volumes. She sat on his workbench, her legs folding in that impossible way. "We are safe for now, but we must discuss our future, yours and mine." David felt his stomach tighten. He'd known this conversation was coming. "My species," Elsa began, her translator adding a reverent tone to her words. "We do not reproduce as humans do. We require genetic diversity, yes, but more than that, we require resonance." She placed a hand on her chest, where her dual hearts beat in syncopated rhythm. David had treated an injury there once, had seen the bioluminescent blood, the crystalline bone structure. When a Gelnari chooses a mate from another species, it is not merely physical. Our consciousness intertwines. Your neural patterns, David, she paused, searching for words. "They harmonize with mine in ways I have not felt since Liren's father died." David's mouth went dry. "Elsa, I'm not asking for immediate answer," she interrupted gently. "But you must understand what I am asking. To father my next child would bind us permanently. Gelnari bonding is not temporary. Your lifespan would extend to match mine, approximately 3 of your centuries. Your consciousness would partially merge with mine. You would feel what I feel, know what I know." She stood, moving closer. Her hand, four-fingered and elegant, touched his face. Where her skin met his, David felt something. A tingle, a warmth, like electricity but gentler, more alive. "I would also gain from you," Elsa continued. "Your determination, your compassion, your ingenuity. These would become part of me, part of our offspring. This is how my people survive. We adapt, we incorporate, we become greater than we were." Liren approached, taking David's hand in her small one. Her bioluminescence pulsed in what he'd learned was affection. "And if I say no?" David asked quietly. Elsa withdrew her hand. "Then we leave when safe passage can be arranged. I will find another world, another sanctuary. But David," her eyes shifted to that deep violet again, "I do not wish to leave. Not merely because Earth is safe, but because here with you I have found something my people thought lost forever. A partner who chooses us not from obligation or politics, but from kindness." David looked around his workshop. 32 years he'd lived in this space, building sensors, repairing drones, living a quiet life after his military service. 32 years of solitude he'd convinced himself was peace. Then he looked at Liren, whose drawings covered his walls now. At Elsa, whose presence had filled his empty spaces with purpose. 3 centuries is a long time, he said. "It is. And this merging, I'd lose myself." "No," Elsa said firmly. "You would expand yourself. I would know your memories, yes, and you would know mine. But your individuality, your core self, would remain. Think of it as—" She gestured to his workbench, where components from a dozen worlds lay scattered, "a circuit integration. Each component retains its function but becomes part of something greater." Outside, the wind howled across the Nevada desert. Somewhere in the distance, a patrol drone hummed past. David thought of the reports he'd seen. Thousands of Gelnari processed for parts. He thought of Liren's smile, of Elsa's quiet strength. He thought of his own life, competent, controlled, and crushingly lonely. "If we do this," he said slowly, "we'd need to disappear completely. False identities, new location. The consortium would execute me for species contamination." Elsa nodded. "I know what I ask. I ask you to become a fugitive, to leave your world behind." "My world," David repeated, then smiled. A real smile, perhaps the first in years. "My world is a workshop in the middle of nowhere, Elsa. I think I can manage a new workshop somewhere else." He knelt before Liren. "What do you think, little one? Ready for a human father?" Liren's markings exploded in brilliant patterns of joy. Elsa's hand found his again, and this time David felt the connection deepen, felt the edges of her consciousness brush against his vast, ancient kind. "Then we begin," Elsa whispered, "together." In the desert darkness, in a hidden workshop beneath the stars, 3 beings, 2 human, 1 alien, 1 yet to come, became a family. The consortium would hunt them. The universe would call them aberration. But they would survive. They would endure. Because humanity's greatest strength, Elsa had learned, wasn't its technology or its ambition. It was its capacity to love the strange, to protect the vulnerable, to defy the universe itself for those it chose as its own. And David had chosen them. Forever,